Another Nightmare from Born in Blood, Volume 2. The same waking, the same walls, bone and plaster, black and crumbling white, both coming apart, both stained, scratched raw, cracks and hollows, spiders nesting there, curled in on themselves, waiting for flies or cockroaches to stumble by, sharing their stories as they're devoured. I hear them through the floorboards, through the ceilings, rats and roaches, things that have no names, moans, their motions distressing the air, causing the dust to dance. Everywhere, the damn place infested. What would happen if they were removed, if some exterminator managed to purge them down to the last maggot? The whole place would likely come down, barely sustained by their insect dreams. What does that make me? Another nightmare? Their god or devil? No, I don't presume that much. I'm shit. The filth they feed off, the sewage in which they lay their eggs. What I am, what I let myself become. Old dreams, old chances. I scrape at the floor, weep and moan as they come back to me, piece by piece, fragment by fragment. The ones I presume to love, not even knowing what love is, attempts at seduction so uncertain, so ham fisted, they didn't even realize for the most part. What followed, the confusion, the questions, squirming like a hooked maggot beneath a blowtorch, shriveling faster, thoughts of drowning, of the cell walls cracking, the first indignities from which all others sprung. Bitches, no better than the ones who made them, the apes and idiots they loved. Let them, I said to myself, let them give themselves to animals. Let them be no better than chew toys, bones to gnaw on. Not my business, not my problem. Not even when they turned up bruised and weeping on my doorstep. And they did. They always did. Worse than love, lovelessness, the work, myriad careers to which I surrendered, wallowing in for so long, a pig in love with filth, suffocating on it. Sharper shards of memory, more jagged, so much clearer than the women. I loved them, though I can hardly remember now. I loved them. The kitchen, the heat, the rush and clatter of it. I found a place there where the pressure kept me alive, kept me contained. Mistakes? Plenty, especially at first. Barks and screams and red faces, spittle hot against my cheeks, the kiss of cool outside, back alley stinking with daily refuse, singing with rats. The first cigarette, a man's hands, a man's lips, strange but not unwelcome. Nothing unknown back then. Despair gave me strength, made it seem as though nothing mattered, no hurt or indignity could undo me, because I was already undone. Wrong. So wrong. I tried, even when the kitchens failed, when the ovens grew cold, the abuse silent. I tried. Work where I could get it, in greasy, squalid little fast food places, run by squalid little men and women whose dreams of power extended no further than their smeared, stinking little kingdoms. I dreamed of them, searing to the bone in their own bubbling fat, served up battered or between sesame buns to be chewed over and devoured by ones that wouldn't care, even if they realized their cannibalism. Nothing forbidden, nothing I wouldn't do or take. I gained a reputation, so I was told, coming into work bleary and slurring, hardly even hearing through the music behind my eyes. Swimming, distorted faces, calling me idiot, calling me worthless, words that seeped between their teeth like embers as tinted smoke. I held on. I held on. Here. Trying to drag me back? Always the same. Only wanting me when I'm done with them, as true of past selves as it is of lovers. He's dead now, that kitchen boy, that shriveled sack. I killed him, ate him alive from the inside, a maggot in his chemical soul, swelling, swelling. I rise from the floorboards, naked, scratched raw, raped by a tiger in my sleep. Always the same story. Patterns in the grooves and knots of the floorboards, not red but stinking black as the rivulets wash filth from their channels. Every day, every day I wonder if the tiger will still be there, if the nightmare that mutilates me in my sleep has decided to stay, sleep off its exertions. Nothing. The bed flat and empty, not even a hair or trace of scent to mark its presence. It comes to me. Maybe to the others too. I don't know. They don't speak to me, don't sing. I like to think that my blood seeps through the ancient warped wood, raining down on their heads as they fuck and dance and dream. I hate them, but I want to be there, to see them melt and bleed. They'll seep away too, through the floorboards, down, down through unknown rooms, empty floors, until they reach what? I don't know how deep it goes. I've never been there, in the cellars, the catacombs, the roots of the place. Maybe they don't exist. Maybe it goes down forever. That's what it felt like when they carried me here. The white ones in their suits and masks, cold porcelain hands whispering in their soft, broken voices. I could come apart, paint the walls with myself, let the spiders and cockroaches take the rest. Maybe a little of me will go with them, infesting them parasitically, letting me see through their insect and arachnid eyes, tasting every mote on the air, in the ground beneath my feet, scaling walls and ceilings as though weightless. Yes. Maybe they'll carry me there, beyond the walls, through the cracks, to where the others dance and bleed. Maybe to the birds outside the window, the flocks that never settle, never land. I hear them even now, fluttering against the glass, croaking, screaming. Not dawn song, too frantic, too panicked for that. Not mating either. Something more violent, more hungry. The empty bed. I sit down on it, breathing deep, trying to catch some scent of him, the tiger in the night, some stray hair upon the coverlet, a splash of cooling sperm. Nothing beyond my own scent, blood and sweat, my coming through the pain. I don't remember, not exactly, only fragments. Talons writing wounds across my back, pressing so deep they scraped bone, dentist's drills on exposed nerves, scoring my ribs, my shoulder blades, playing over my vertebrae. The tongue that followed, rasping and elaborately pierced, bells tinkling, chains chiming with every lick. Something inside, rifling through me, as though seeking a treasure I'd swallowed, or that some lunatic surgeon planted in my entrails. I wish I could see the tiger's face, remember its name. It told me, I'm sure of it, when it was inside, growling through the blood and the meat between its lips. The wound it gnawed is already closing, forming a scar from throat to pubis. In the next hour, it will barely be noticeable, like the rest. A swimmer's frame, a supermodel's, photographically perfect. Maybe today, maybe today they'll come. They promised they would, that this was only a temporary arrangement until I was ready, until I was well. Well, I don't know what that means. Can't recall ever feeling it. A mystery of others, inside their heads, in the unique wiring of their nerves and glands. Nothing I can imagine. Mind too tangled and frantic, in need of unraveling. Maybe that's what the tiger is for, to undo me thread by cancerous thread, knot by knot, unmaking me. No. The blood already stilling. Not enough to drown the ones in the walls, the spiders, the cockroaches, the lovers and singers. Never enough. It stills too quickly, scabs and scars over so soon. I'll be here forever. I know it. Bleeding every night, through dreams, through nightmares, until the tiger can't bear foreplay any longer and devours me. I'll break the walls first, shatter the cell with whatever I can. They'll find me spilling out from it, my mind and soul carried away with the birds, flocking amongst them, a disease that they'll shat and scatter across whatever waste the world has become. Yes, let me be that. The infection and fever, what they made of me, what they always insisted, shit-born sickness of the world, pandemic madness, a reign of despair. Let me curdle in eyes, in throats, in minds, wear holes in hearts and sanity. Let the smiles turn to shrieks, the upturned faces melt and slow from diseased bone. Let me be the worm in the gut, the fungus in the brain, the parasite that multiplies, eating bone hollow. Yes, let me be what is born in blood and shit, what feasts and mates and gives birth there. What difference would it make in any age of myself or humanity? At least this way I'll be put to some purpose, know just a little poetry. It comes, in light and waking for the first time, not a tiger, as my limited imagination painted, but an imperfect hybrid of man, machine, and spider, a scraping, chittering engine whose components seep through cracks in the ceiling, through spaces between the floorboards, through rents in the wall, a thing of smoke and foul liquid at first, coalescing with every heartbeat, its fluid becoming fiber, nerve, circuitry, swelling in a parody of gestation before my eyes. I wish I could welcome it as part of me does, but the shit inside that the rest of my species saw from the beginning is still there, still insisting on itself. I scrabble back to the soiled bed, trailing filth and whimpers. So terrible, so beautiful, the thing seeming to suffer as it weaves, the parts that are human, that are animal, that can feel and hurt, quivering in the act of coalescence, the metal and wire that thrusts through them, puncturing, burning, infesting them like threads of mechanical cancer. The result, a wet, heaving mass, articulated legs emerging gleaming from the pale, almost translucent flesh, many eyes blinking in an androgyne face, that of an angelic whore, one of heaven's own rent boys, a choir in service to sodomite saints and boy-fancying prophets. I know it. Memories frayed, faded, bubbling like shit in a hellish cesspool behind my eyes. Every night, every time I slip from consciousness, this thing, this engine coming to me, opening me up, violating every inch of me. But never like this, never seen with waking eyes. Outside the window, the birdsong reaches new heights of fever, as though in the false dawn of a nuclear explosion, the unnatural dusk following a mushroom cloud. In the walls, the spiders and cockroaches grow frantic, pausing in their hunts, their matings, their cannibalistic feasts, scurrying in blind panic, abandoning larders, nurseries, spilling out through the cracks and hollows. I cry out, scraping and batting them away as they descend on shimmering threads, as they fall in my hair, on my sweating, bleeding back. The thing watches, heaving as it swells, solidifying, its form becoming more certain with every passing breath, many legs stabilizing it, allowing it to rear up almost to the height of the ceiling. Every night, every dream, my nursemaid, my lover, my confessor and surgeon, sent by the ones who brought me here, the ones who scented my disease. I see myself reflected over and over in its unblinking eyes, its untarnished metal. I see what it has done, what I have done, through my dreaming, my sickness and dissatisfaction. It comes, descending at my whimpering call, its legs rising. So many instruments, so many devices, flowering, whirring. I know them all, their touch, their taste, the sensations they can elicit. Have begged for them in the past, when the shit inside is too much to bear, when I am a cancer, to be lanced, letting it spill, letting it drain until tomorrow when the stitches fall out, the scars fade, and anesthetic fails to have effect. Not today. Today there will be no anesthetic. Today the birds sing, the spiders scurry, and memory froths as rabid foam in my skull. The filth and evil and stupidity that called the masked ones, that provided the designs for this nightmare engine, my sincerest child, the mirror of my soul. Today I don't weep, don't struggle or deny, not even when the first cut is made, trailing from temple to cheek, the caress of a blade-fingered lover, when the device, like a mouth filled with jagged silver flower petals and flickering tongues, closes on my groin, when I am pulped and rendered sexless. breathless white and black fire searing away all sense, all memory, the filth I cannot bear, the pain licking me hollow, scouring me innocent, accruals of defeat and disappointment, of denial and self-loathing dissolve, withering before the inferno. Before, it has been a temporary measure, the cleansing of wounds that might never heal, might never be free of infection. This is different. The final surgery, the last embrace, it sings to me, as it has every night, through the whirring of metal and mechanisms, the pulping of flesh, the grinding of bone. Its voice, that of a boy, light and breathy, on the edge of experience that will transform him, as I am transformed, here and now. Songs of before, of the cancer it has cut and burned and scoured away. Experience I no longer have any need of, tumescent personality. After, what walks away from here, assuming it can, will be innocent, in face, in flesh, in thought, a cleansed consciousness, ready to sin and imagine itself anew. But first, this moment, our last eternity together, torment and disgrace beyond words, beyond definition, a welcome hell where we are all unraveled, but only a few ever reborn.